Hello, welcome to episode 49 of the Lorethrough. We made it through the PvP episode, and now we get to talk to Vare and see what he thinks of our escapades. Goodness. This is the first recording, of course, after going about a week without recording. Well, I'd say maybe half a week. I got to record some voiceovers for some PvP episodes that'll be coming out soon. Actually, I think one might be out by the time this particular episode airs, so you can disregard me. So let's talk to White Mask Vare and see what is going on. Root Phantom. Alright.
Oh, Lambkin, so pleased you're here. I'm glad that you're enjoying my gift. I knew it from the very start. You have a taste for noble blood. I wish to anoint you a proper inductee, a knight to serve Luminary Mohg, the Lord of Blood, and establish a new dynasty. Luminary Mohg has strength, vision, and of course, love. So, what do you say, my lambkin?
So we can decide to join him, and we get to join Luminary Mohg and his new dynasty, right? So that's kind of exciting. We see another creed. It seems that they're the creed specifically of the Bloody Finger Invaders. This doesn't seem particularly in character for Sieghelm. It doesn't seem like he would be all that interested in hunting down Tarnished unless he believed they had done wrong. Probably most likely to him or people he cares a lot about. He's more likely to deal with invaders coming at him and defending himself, not going out of his way necessarily to hunt any sort of wayward Tarnished unless there was really good reason behind it. He seems like a fellow who'd keep to himself. But he's still trying to expand his horizons. But for the sake of the Lorethrough and seeing as much content as possible, we will accept this anointing.
Yes. Who would have it any other way? Now, take this
The Lord of Blood's favor.
for your final trial. Soak the cloth with a maiden's blood. Normally, this ritual would involve killing one's own maiden and recanting the wisdom of the two fingers. But since you are maidenless, the blood of anyone's maiden will do.
So he wants us to soak this cloth he has handed us. Let's take a look at that item in particular. Pure white cloth given by Vare, the final trial to be anointed a knight of Mohg, Lord of Blood. Soak the cloth with a maiden's blood. The blood of anyone's maiden will do. You are maidenless after all, so it kind of just repeats what he said to us. So there are, I believe, 3 places you can soak this blood. If we were still guiding Hyetta along her path, and we most recently saw her in the Bellum Church, we could actually slay her and dip the rag in her blood, I believe. But the 2 other most common, or other options, are the Church of Inhibition, where we fought Fingerprint Knight Vike, and then actually, if we go back to the Chapel of Anticipation via the Belfries, we could dip it in the blood of that maiden. And that seems the most appropriate for us, so let's do that. I believe we already opened up that path and got the ashes, the hawk ashes for Nefeli Lu's questline. So we will do that promptly. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Though, in my opinion, the Bellum Church is the easiest and the fastest, because she's right next to the Grace, but we're doing this for flavor. The flavor being, Sieghelm's maiden died during the journey, perhaps even before they could truly meet. And, yeah, so we'll use her blood. Even though, given the time frame of the game, it stands to reason the blood might be not quite as liquidy anymore for soaking a rag. I'm not too familiar with what happens to bodies when they are dead and gone for a while, what happens to the blood, but I assume at some point they dry up. And it seems that huge swaths of time are taking place in the lands between even while we are here. But, yeah, we can die with the maiden's blood. There we go. Alright. So now we could take another look at that item. Okay, so now we see that it wasn't just a plain cloth, but it looks like there's a design on it now. Or at least I don't remember seeing much of a design on it before. Fully reddened oath cloth, dyed in a maiden's blood. The final trial is complete. Luminary Mohg is sure to welcome you into his service as a knight who will lay the foundations for his dynasty. So let's head all the way back to Vare, who is placed not near a site of grace, as to be very rude. And we will see what he has to say to us next. Kind of a spooky cult we're getting ourselves into. But there's good reason for it. There's lots of very neat things. Perhaps I will even show off some of them. But let's give Vare a talking to.
Ah, my lambkin. You've completed your final trial. And with this, you are a formal inductee. A knight who will assist Luminary Mohg, the Lord of Blood, in the establishment of a new dynasty. Now, give me your finger. This noble blood will be an immutable badge of honor once it settles inside of you.
So we can offer our finger to him. Not a wise choice, but we're here for content.
Oh, good heavens. Clench your teeth or something. Never forget that feeling of agony, for it is what binds you to Luminary Mohg, to all of us. You have the sweetest scream, my lambkin.
Alright, so we got a new item. It's a reusable item that lets us invade folks. So let's read what it says. Item for online play. Attempts an invasion of another player's world. If successful, you will arrive as an invader, Bloody Finger, with the objective of defeating the host fingers in that world. Glistening blood has been siphoned into the nail of this finger. Its sickly pale skin feels nothing now, but the nail still aches with sweetest pain. And I believe this is our finger. It seems to be what he was interacting with. And when I first played this game, I always thought that he was tearing off our finger in a rather gruesome fashion, because it looks like he's holding and pulling, at least to me. But nothing really implies here that it's severed from our hand in any way, or torn. And even the picture, it just kind of fades there, unlike other fingers we've seen. Well, I don't have any on me right now. The other bloody finger reusable items look like they were torn from a hand, right? And so it seems he's done some sort of procedure here, either crushing the tip of our finger or maybe prodding it. But it says that glistening blood has been siphoned to the nail of the finger, and its sickly pale skin now feels nothing. So it seems he has deadened one of our fingers, but as a result, we can now use our own finger to invade people. At least that's what looks to be apparent. And I just noticed, it looks like there's a little crack along the nail, the red nail. There in the picture there, it's a little lighter than the rest of the dark red nail. And perhaps he did crush the tip of our finger. And granted, crushing the tip of the finger, not as bad as losing the whole finger. However, ouch, that hurts to imagine. I can't believe he'd do this to us. But let's talk to him one more time, because he has even more to say.
Oh, another thing. You should have this.
Almost like an afterthought. Pureblood Knight's Medal.
A medal granted by the new Mohgwyn dynasty, with the power to grant audience with Luminary Mohg. I've gone out of my way to provide one to you. But you mustn't use it just yet. The meeting must wait until the Mohgwyn dynasty commences. Luminary Mohg yet slumbers beside the divinity. We must endure a little longer.
So we must wait for the new dynasty, and Luminary Mohg is sleeping next to the divinity. Who's the divinity? Given that they've rejected the two fingers, they've likely rejected Queen Marika and the Greater Will as well. So who is this divinity? Another of the demigods? Or a new individual to take that role up, take that position? But does he have anything else to say?
It is trying, but we must be patient. One day you will be elevated, deservedly, basking in love. Right, my lambkin?
Seems awfully smug about what he's done to us, but we are officially a bloody finger now.
It is trying. One day, right, my lambkin?
And that's all he has to say to us. However, he gave us an item. An item that he says don't use yet. Proof that one is a glorious knight of the new dynasty of Mohgwyn and the Lord of Blood will inaugurate. Used to be granted audience with Mohg, only it is not yet time, for Mohg yet slumbers beside the divinity. Be patient, the new dynasty is nigh. Okay. Right. Okay. I am going to show that off now, even though we're not supposed to go there. It's not like waiting throughout the whole game you ever actually get to that point in time. You can't wait long enough. Maybe in the DLC you'll be able to wait long enough, but I doubt it. So we're going to use the Pureblood medal, the Pureblood, I can't speak, Knight's Medal. And we're going to head here against the Better Wishes, and here we are in the darkness beside the Siofra River Well. So we're going to head up here. Dukist Herba grows in here, and it looks a little bit like the Siofra River, but there are obvious changes to the color palette. Mohgwyn Dynasty Mausoleum. And we're not going to show off a whole lot here, because this is a zone I will naturally do much later, right? But I did want to grab the map and the Site of Grace, and we can read the map's description to maybe give us a clue. Yeah. Map of the Mohgwyn Palace and environs. In lightless depths lies the grave of an ancient civilization. It is here Mohg, the Lord of Blood, is building his palace to be the seat of his coming dynasty named Mohgwyn, and whatever nightmares that may bring. So even the map description seems rather skeptical. I'm trying to decide how much of this area I ought to explore for the episode. And yeah, I don't want to explore too much. Seems like a pain. Just because I'm only level 60. I'm indecisive. I shouldn't be indecisive. We will go to the other grace. So we'll hop down here. And we will get our horsey out. And we will book it for our lives and hope for the best. But there is a high-level Ghost Glove. We're at level 9, right next to where we start. You can grab that safely. Ooh, horrible, mean skeletons. Do not like. And this could get me killed very easily. Ooh, jump over the laser. I didn't get that item. High level runes though, big smith and stones. Very good prize. And stuff to grab. Because we're here, and we might as well. Drawstring blood grease. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. Swarm of flies. Very tasty. And I hope this next one doesn't get us killed. We'll find out. Ooh. This could be the end. I should have known. I should probably come at that from a sneakier direction. But I do need that money back. That was a good heft of money. I want that. So let's give that another go. Probably a little early to be casting this spell, but oh well. I don't even remember what's in the beetle. I just feel like I want it and I need it. And I probably don't need it this early. Definitely not this early. It has been brought to my attention that some viewers like to see the struggle. And so I shouldn't overlevel, apparently, to show off everything. Which is understandable. Come on. Oh, come on. Yes. Alright. We'll get that at another point. Something just took 1,000 damage over there. Nonchalantly. But these are albinurcs as well, but they're red, and they have little horns on their heads. Seems awful. At least I got the smith and stone. There's some graves and a side passage. More item. And we bother to ride up this hill. And without taking the detour, we immediately grab the grace. And we sit down to save our lives. There we go. Because this is a very high level area. You should probably be, level 80 minimum-ish. Just for the flat resistances, and even then it'll probably be tough, and you should probably have like plus 15 weapons at the lowest. To do it comfortably, you can always do things in whatever order you will please. But the reason why we grabbed this ledge is because I'm going to show off a really rinky-dink farming method that's good early game, and because we can get access to VAR pretty early and get those 3 invasions out of the way. This is a pretty handy thing you can do. So see, there's this bird here, right? Horrible bird monster. It's our first time seeing a bird monster like this. Normally it wouldn't be. But every time you sit down... Oh, shucks. I don't even have arrows equipped. I just need to hit him. There we go. And he goes off the edge. And you get 11k. And of course, you can wear the talisman that buffs how many runes you get. You can use the item that gives you more runes. But 11k is nothing to sniff at, especially at level 11. Because, at level 60, 11k is what we're getting. That's where that number came from. Every 2 kills is a level up, just about. And that can be nice for a couple extra levels on the quick. It's boring, it's monotonous, but it is an option. Look, this fellow is doing the same thing. And the bow just needs to hit him. It doesn't need to do damage. You don't even need the requirements for it. So that is one thing. I really want to kill that beetle down there, but I'm starting to think it's not conducive to what we're trying to accomplish today. Ooh, but I want it dead. I'm gonna risk it all. Because I'm a foolish and a prideful individual. So we're going to do exactly that. And our battle plan this time will be to not Just try to swing at him while on horseback. That's our goal, at least. This could possibly get us killed. Oh, gall. It's just going to be a smithing stone that I'm not going to use for ages. I'm waiting for it. I genuinely don't remember what's in that beetle. Oh, never mind. It's blood tax. Okay, so that's worth it. And I'm actually safe enough I can just teleport away. Alright. And we're essentially done there. There's more we'll explore at a later date, but nothing that's that necessary. That's the easiest thing to do to get some levels. There are other methods that are more an exploit. Even though I think that one's pretty much an exploit. It's reasonable enough. It's in the game. Anyone could draw their conclusion to figure out how to do that pretty reasonably. The other methods are like fall off the map on your horse while swinging your weapon in a particular way, and when you fall far enough past the death box that normally triggers when you fall off cliffs, it'll kill everything in the zone, granting you hundreds of thousands of runes, which is pretty goofy, pretty silly if I say so myself. So there's this rune over here we're going to explore. We have a couple places to explore in Liurnia before we do Raya Lucaria. Not much. We're almost done. But here we have a treasure chest with a weapon that used to be top-notch. Ice Rind Hatchet. It has Hoarfrost Stomp on it. Hatchet with a frost-coated blade, one of several gifts given by Castle Sol in the distant north. Known as Freezing Fog, the blade is thought to be a dragon scale, inflicts a powerful frost effect, and it is C-scaling dexterity unupgraded. It could probably work as a dexterity offhand for certain setups, maybe a halberd. It would have okay speed. I think it has the good attack pattern for hand axes. Yeah, so this is the same attack pattern that, like, the hand axe has. And so, one-handed. It's got good sweeps. It's not too slow. It's faster, if I recall. Oh. Oh, that's just a flower. Spooked me. Spooked myself. Okay. And there's more blood roses, because we are starting to see links between the Albinaurics and the blood roses. We just met some of the Albinaurics who had pledged service. Okay, we have this fairy ring with a rhyme crystal bud, and a bunch of dudes that get mad. We have these big Albinaurics with their clubs. They look more pale than the other ones. Just a smidge. Maybe it's because they're wet. I don't know. But we're going to leave them all behind. Because there's no lore to be had here. There is a smidge of lore to be had over here. Because if you remember from earlier parts, we got a note. And the note told us of a meeting spot to the side of the Raya Lucaria Academy, and don't you know the same shape is represented here. And so we will get right to that. I may want a phantom. And now I have actually a good stockpile of rune arcs thanks to the PvP. There's better ways to get rune arcs, but it just cracks me up. Right. I want to equip a summon for funsies. I guess I could 1v1 the dragon, but I need to level some of these guys up. Now that Roderica is not base level no more. I think I leveled up just one. Yeah, Lutel the Headless. Because Lutel is great backup. And there are loads of these beetles here. And I wonder if we could see it from here. But the beetles probably be easier to show off on the tutorial page for the beetle, honestly, but we'll try here. Oh, they're moving a little bit. Just a smidge. What about this one? On their backs, I can't even see it from this angle, and he's just spinning. How rude. Yeah, they have an eye on their back. It looks like an ice symbol. And I don't have anything to confirm this, but I almost want to believe that these silly beetles are spies for someone. The only one who has lots of eyes and ears memorabilia is, of course, Gideon Ofnir. The all-hearing, the all-knowing, he's been called many things. Worse than that, even. But we will still get behind the dragon. I wonder how close we can get. About that close. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Ooh, that frost proc, though. Ooh, tasty damage. Yeah, boy. And that's way harder than a crit. Just going nuts. Oh, it's been a while since I've had such an easy time with a dragon. Those headshots really matter. And having double hammers, because these things count as hammers, broke his posture pretty quickly. And of course, Lutel wailing on him. We get a dragon heart. And a new draconic power is available at the Cathedral of Dragon Communion. So we found some dragon wound grease, which we probably could have slapped on our main hand to deal a little extra damage. And we see a sorcerer with his glintstone crown and an item. An Academy glintstone key. So let's take a look at that now. Should be in here. I must have passed it. I have more death root to give to our boy the beast clergyman. There it is. Academy glintstone key. Seal key to the seal binding both gates to the Academy of Rea Lucaria. Activates warp magic bound within the seals. A glintstone key will remember its user, meaning once used it can never be passed on to another. The Academy does not welcome the indolent. So it seems that there was a meeting place going on here. A sort of black market for blank Academy keys, which are probably worth a hefty sum. And it seems that that noble, whose body we saw out front and found the note on, over here specifically, that he was probably on his way to make a black market deal. There's a grace out here nearby. I want to grab. There it is. I'm so glad they have all these golden trails of particle effects to the grace before you've grabbed it to help you find the darn thing. Yeah, because that's nice to have a grace on that side as well. But we will head back into the dungeon. I think we will do the dungeon very quickly, and then we will call it there. So the episode might be a smidge long. Not too bad. I'll go quick. It's not a long dungeon. Yeah, so kind of a neat little piece of environmental storytelling regarding the glintstone key for the Academy. Very fun. But in cave moss, I don't think that has anything unique. Faintly luminescent moss that grows in dark caves, speckled with tiny yellow flowers, material used for crafting items, primarily used in perfumes, doesn't state how. That's okay. As you may have noticed, I've started using 2 pickaxes, because while 1 pickaxe is fun and usable, 2 pickaxes offers big damage, and also seems in theme for the character. And so I feel like I'll be using the 2 pickaxes to kind of make up for the fact that I've stopped using the smaller pickaxe nearly as much. In fact, I don't even have it in my inventory anymore. Feels bad, but hammers got done dirty in this game. Feels really bad. Honestly, that looks like an illusory wall. Let's get in here. And there, I love this. We get in and we see 3 shadowy forms speaking in the dark. And so if there was a sorcerer who got to this cove for the meeting place, this hideout seems like a pretty close place to hang out. Oh, the ice just dealt with him instantly. Did that alert the others? I don't think so. there's another one behind me? I guess there is. Ooh, an Academy Glintstone Staff. Another one. This also looks like it should be an illusory wall. We get some Crystal Cave Moss, which is always nice. Actually, I don't know if the Cave Moss is so useful. The crystals in the caves is the nice part. Okay. Yeah, crystal in the caves is useful for the fancy throwing knives. I think over here... Oh, I thought there was an illusion over here. Ah, weird. I know there's an illusion in this cave. Stone Sword Key kind of helps pay for the one that we used in the door. Did we use 2 in the door? I don't even remember. I stockpile a good amount before I get to them, so I never worry. But yeah, it's a glintstone cave. We haven't seen any miners here. There's some bones of an ox, crystals, and wizards. We've seen wizards. Definitely. Definitely seen some wizards. We can sneak away using this. And we can work our way up to this treasure chest in this little secret area. And here we find the crystal staff. Let's clear out the room and then we'll read its description. Uh-oh. Ooh. Fairly rude. But not too easily too hard to dispatch. So this other wizard was different than the others. That was a lag spike. Weird. He's got a glintstone crown as well, but it's blindfolded for some reason. And it has a hood on it, and he was significantly larger than the other wizards. A lot larger. Alright, down here we find another treasure chest that you're normally supposed to get to easily, just a rune arc, and you're supposed to wonder about that upper ledge because there's a wizard up there when you walk in. Yeah, because you walk in from over here normally. That's where we started this little area. So let's read that staff description. Alright, staff fashioned from a pure crystal, a deed impossible for a human, enhances Crystallian sorceries. The Crystallion's faint cognition is known as the Wisdom of Stone. This staff can only be wielded by those of intellect high enough to grasp such wisdom. And sure enough, it takes 48 int to wield it. I don't even know if it's a good staff early on. If you manage to get 48 int at like a reasonable upgrade level, so like +8 to +12-ish is kind of what you can attain by this point in the game. Let me check actually. Yeah, you could, well, you'd be close. You could probably get to +11. But, I think it has standard upgrades. Maybe it's a somber weapon. I don't recall. But we're going to come in here. And we're going to hide behind the pillar for safety reasons. And we are going to grab a shield for parrying. We are going to buff our weapon. We're gonna play parry. This is a piercing weapon, not a striking weapon, so I hope it works okay. It's still a hammer, so who knows? Oh, that looked like it worked. Let's do that. That tense moment waiting for the attack, because their attacks are so horribly disjointed. There we go. And we can't parry this one, so we won't really bother. Lutel's doing fine. as I watch him get domed. And not too tough. I mean, a +5 Litel helps a lot. And Crystal releases a sorcery we just earned. So looking around this area, so it seems mostly cave, and then a storeroom, like a cellar, right? And it's almost like they bored out of the cellar and found another cavern. Actually, it might have been a naturally forming cavern to begin with, but still, it looks like they made a cellar under the academy, and then they found a way out. I mean, there's a chance that they found the cave and then made all of this, but lugging all that stuff through those passageways seems a little harder than they just made a pit up above. I don't know what I'm talking about. But still, here we see a little bit of the architecture from Raya Lucaria. We will see more of it later, but this is our first barest hints. We see these statues of these ladies, and they're a bit different from what we've seen so far, except for in those gazebos dotting the lake itself. And there's even a little teleporter to get us out of this dungeon. I need to go up here really fast. And while we are going up this crazy tall elevator, I will read the item description that we just got for that sorcery. Sorcery of the Mysterious Crystallians creates a mass of crystals that shatters it to scour a wide area with a violent rain of crystal shards. This sorcery is used by high-ranking adepts among the Crystallians. Some also call this sorcery the Crystal Sun. I don't know anyone who calls it that, especially in the greater Liurnian region. Okay. And we get to the top here, and there's even more. And now the elevator drilling down theory seems a little less likely unless there's some other access point in the academy that we just don't get to experience. But here we are at arguably the tallest tower in Raya Lucaria, so the deepest point and the tallest point are connected. And here we find one of my favorite sorceries, Terra Magica, recently nerfed, still very good. It's a sorcery that lets you lay down a pattern on the ground of magic, and if you're standing within it while doing magic damage, you deal more. It was like 30 or 35%, I think it's like 20 now. I don't know the actual numbers, I just know it was a substantial nerf, but at the same time, if it's 20% or even 15% bonus damage while standing in it, that is very notable. One of the glintstone sorceries of the Academy of Raya Lucaria draws an academy sigil upon the ground, raising the magic strength of those within. Once, the sigil would be cast from the highest belfry of the academy, covering the entire institution's grounds. This spell allows such vivid experience of spellcasting success, it turns many a fledgling into a true sorcerer in the flash of newfound understanding. So it seems that it would be cast from all the way up here, and it would cover the entirety of the academy. And that's pretty neat. Us, on the other hand, we're going to cast it in a small circle just for us because we are selfish and or a bad sorcerer. Alright. I think that's it for today. We will be doing the Academy of Raya Lucaria next time, which is exciting. I thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time in episode 50. Wow, 50 episodes. We made it. Thank you, and goodbye.